welcome to this month's Safety Minute. I used to have this dream where I'd look into the mirror and I'd see my old self. I'd have my hair, big dimples, huge smile, bright eyes. And I'd look into the mirror intently and be like, it's not that bad. In fact, I don't see any burns at all. And then I'd wake up and reality would hit. That is one of the hardest parts of overcoming an incident, is how it changes how you see yourself. And it doesn't have to be just your appearance. Although with your appearance, you will look into the mirror and see a completely different person, a stranger. And it doesn't even have to be as bad as my facial burns are. All it has to be is a scar you don't like that changes your appearance. And believe me, when you look into that mirror, you'll do everything you can to avoid looking at that scar. It took over 3 months when I was finally able to see myself for me to take it all in. In fact, when I first saw myself, all I ever did was look at my nose. I wasn't ready to look beyond that. But as I said, it doesn't just have to be your appearance that changes after an incident. Where most people see themselves differently after an incident is how their injuries prevent them from living. It strips away your independence and your ability. And because of that, we see ourselves as going from very functional, able, independent people to someone who's now handicapped, disabled, and dependent. And when you're handicapped, disabled, and dependent, you need to learn how to ask for help. But people, they don't like asking for help. It makes them feel weak. It makes them feel small, like they're needy. And we also feel like we're a burden on the people that we love, that we're always asking for help on things we used to be able to do. Believe me, that journey of adapting how you see yourself has got to be one of the hardest parts of overcoming an incident. Now, because this is a Christmas message, I want to share with you not only the safety side of what happens after you get injured and it changes your appearance. I also want to give people how I deal with the looks. And I just want to share a story with you that happened just a couple weeks ago. I was sitting in the Toronto airport waiting for my flight to go to London, Ontario, and this mother went rushing by me. You could tell she was in a hurry to get to her gate, and she's dragging along her little child with her. And as they passed, the little child just looked up and scanned me as they went by. And after they'd passed, I heard her say to her mom, "Is that guy real?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm real." But believe me, it is not easy when you hear those words being used, when you hear the gossip, when you see people whisper about you and they're pointing at you. You have to deal with that stuff. So how do I do it? Well, the first part is I went and looked at who else gets stared at a lot. And I thought that, probably really good looking men and women, they get stared at quite a lot. Because people, just when you see someone good looking, you tend to take a double look. But I also know that, when people look at good looking people, they don't tend to have the nicest thoughts running through their head. Instead, they tend to be selfish thoughts, things that they would like, not things that would benefit the person they're looking at. And yet, I look at those good looking people, how they get stared at all the time, and they hold their head up high. They put a smile on their face. And they appear to be really proud of who they are. And I looked at them and I'm like, well, if you can get stared at and be proud about who you are, why can't I get stared at and be proud about who I am? And the reality is, when people look at me, they only have one question. What happened to him? And you know what? That's a fair question. It's not every day you're going to see a burn survivor. And I do have a story to share with it. But what happened to him? It's not harmful. It's not degrading. It's not insulting me in any way. It's just a question of curious. And because of that curiosity, it's a fair question. So when people do look at me, I like to think that I'm just like that supermodel out there. Except for there's one difference. I am the hottest guy in the room. And when you're looking at me, you must like what you're looking at. The second thing that really helped me to be able to embrace my burns and see me as I am was that I realized we all are born unique. We all have these special gifts in the world. And the worst thing we can do is either abuse our gifts for selfish gain or not use our gifts at all. And if I was to lock myself into my house, hide away, and prevent people from seeing me, that would also mean I would strip the world of the gifts I have to offer. And everyone has strengths and everyone has weaknesses. And it's by us using our strengths and giving them to the world and to society that makes this world a better place. Because we use our strengths to lift other people up through their weaknesses. And all of our strengths are completely different. They make us unique. And if we use our strengths for the betterment of the world, we make the world a better place. So I realized a long time ago, I need to give the world who Spencer Beach is and use my strengths for their benefit so that you can have a safer life, that you don't have to endure an incident, that you can find hope when all you know is despair, and that I can use what I've learned the hard way to benefit other people. And really the third and last trick I have on how people see me is that I realize that when you look at me, what you really see is a guy living his life. If you don't see me, that means I locked myself away and I'm hiding from the world and I'm not living my life. And I don't want these burns to take anything more than they've already taken. I want to have a full life with my family and my friends doing things I love to do. And I'm not going to have those things if I lock myself away. So when people see me and that little kid goes by and they look up and they ask their mom, "Is that guy real?" I'm like, hell yeah, he's real. He's a guy living his life. And he's making the best he can of a really bad situation. And you know what? He's really proud of what he's achieved. Because he has something to offer this world. And I want to share that with you. That all of you also have something to offer this world. And if you use your strengths to help the world, we all make it a better place. We're all unique, every single one of us. The question on being truly unique is if you use that uniqueness, realize your strengths, and use them to help other people. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this safety minute and that you gain more than just a safety message out of this. And it is not easy having your appearance change, your identity, having to see yourself differently. But you also realize that it's okay to be able to live your life, be proud of who you are, and to offer what you have to the world. I look forward to seeing you guys in 2023. And until then, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe.